We start with a judge's ruling in Yavapai County that's causing a stir in election circles and excitement in the social media industry that promotes falsehoods about elections. So why pay attention to this case? Well, the judges raised what appear to be legitimate questions about how early ballots are counted, the ballots 80 to 90% of us use to cast a vote. Our first guest agrees that the judge might be onto something with his questions. Jen Fifield covers elections for VoteBeat. And if you follow her reporting, you know how rigorous she is in reviewing claims about our elections. Welcome back to Square Off.
Thank you for having me on.
I'm looking forward to what you have to say about this. You did tell me that Yavapai County Judge John Apper is raising questions that you've had about the way the early vote is carried out, particularly the way early ballots are authenticated. What are those questions?
Well, and this has been something that's been raised since the 2022 election, as people start to look at how we run our elections and how we verify these early ballots. When you turn in your early ballot, you sign it. Not everyone knows that that signature is crucial to counting your vote. And so now it's what records can we use to verify that that's your signature? That's what's at stake here.
That's what's at stake. And what did the judge say about that?
So for years, counties have been using multiple records. Say you fill out an early ballot and you turn it in one year, they use that signature from the prior election. The judge is saying you should only be using the first signature from when you register to vote, or if you update your registration, say you change parties and you sign it then. Those are the only signatures you should be looking at.
The only signatures, this is important, are the signatures on my voter registration card that the counties have.
When you register to vote, you can either sign a paper, or if you're at the DMV and they ask, would you like to become a registered voter, you check a box and then you sign it. This is on an electronic pad. You know how at the grocery store some people just do this. So it could very well not look like your signature. He's saying that that signature is the only thing that they can use. This might be 30 years old in Arizona, where our licenses last for 45 years, I think it is.
And I know, having done stories about this here in Maricopa County, officials say there are many ways they can authenticate your signature aside from that. So it sounds like those many ways might not be allowed.
Well, this is a trial court judge. It isn't a final ruling. The judge is just not allowing the state to dismiss the case. It's going to move forward. It's only going to apply for Yavapai, whatever he decides, but then it will be appealed, and we're going to have to figure this out for all counties before the 2024 election. And
I want to be really clear on that point, because many of the folks who attack our elections are doing high fives like, huge victory for us. This is not a victory yet. Nothing's been decided. As you pointed out, he just rejected a challenge to dismiss the case.
That is correct. So we still have to have a final ruling. It'll go to the appeals court, I'm sure, so counties have a final decision before 24.
And maybe even go to the Arizona Supreme Court, most likely.
Most likely.
Will likely go all the way. So who brought this case and why in Yavapai County?
The Arizona Free Enterprise Club brought the case. I'm not sure why they did it in Yavapai County. Maybe they know that that county uses a certain method to check signatures. Now, every county is different. So if you live in Yavapai, they could be doing this differently than Maricopa.
So let's talk about the potential real-world impact on voters, perhaps even older voters who've registered a long time ago. Do we know yet who might be affected if the judge sticks to what he has said and ultimately carries the day all the way through the court system?
Well, it's going to be only the counties that are using more than just that record. So it'll be for sure Maricopa and other counties like Yavapai. And then it'll also affect more older voters who have had licenses for a long time and their signatures may have changed. But then it's also going to affect people not signed up for a fast way for the county to cure your ballot, meaning if they don't like the signature, they don't think it looks like yours, they reach out to you and try to confirm it is yours. If they don't have a method to reach you on that, then your ballot might be rejected.
And so what's the potential number, do we even know yet, a potential number of ballots that could be at risk given the curing that goes on in every election?
Well, I know that there's often many signatures that they're trying to go through the second level of process. I would say thousands of signatures where they're double checking to look at more records, right? They're not just looking at that, someone raises, we need to look at more signatures. So there's thousands of voters that happens to.
And could this, again, looking at the folks who get excited about this kind of stuff, Could this result in any review of what happened in 2022? Because you have two candidates, at least, Kari Lake and Abe Hamadeh, who are pursuing, refusing to acknowledge they lost the election, are still pursuing court cases. Could a ruling here, have any effect on their litigation?
Let's just say Kari Lake has already said that this is proof that there was fraud in 2022 and 2020, to be honest, because this is the way the county's been doing this. Now, you can't bring election challenges late. So she would have to incorporate this into her current challenge for 2022, but it's not going to be on time. So it's complicated, but there are going to be people that are going to look at this and use it. All right. And again, likely the Supreme Court will have to decide this probably next year in the middle of election season. Well, and if you get too close to elections, you can't change the rules. So they're going to have to expedite the case to make sure we know. Oh, boy. All right. Jen Fifield, thank you so much for looking into this and sharing what you know. Thank you for having me on.